Hey everyone, Brandon here, and I'm excited to share the next 6 times 10 from the Department of Innovation. Remember, 6 times 10, every month we're sharing 6 resources or tools that you can try out in the classroom for the next month. So this month we're focused on Analyze, so thinking about the analysts with the ISTE standards or assessments, because at this point we've given out some benchmarks and we're thinking about how we're assessing our students and getting them prepared. Even common assessments or exit tickets, stuff like that. So far we've done Back to School, Connect. This is the third one, Analyze. And then next month we'll be working on coding for December, and then Google, Global, and Create. And March through May, we'll start working on that, deciding what we're gonna do. So here we are in the third one. So let's get started. So the first number one here under Analyst is Linkit. And I know you've heard me talk about Linkit before, but we really want you thinking about using Linkit to assess your students and look at those benchmarks or even create some common assessments. So when you think of analysts and assessment, Linkit should be one of the first places we go to really look at and analyze the data for the students or create data to be analyzed in there. Look out for the Linkit Minute, where we'll be sharing and reminding you how to do different things with Linkit. If you ever have questions and need support, Lisa and I are available when we visit your schools or via email or phone call. So don't forget about that. So that's Linkit. The second one here is again under Analyst. It's Google Forms. So if you don't want to use Linkit, you want something a little bit gooier, Google Forms has a quiz feature now. They came out with probably a year or so ago, maybe a little bit longer. You just go into Google Forms, you go ahead and select blank quiz, and now you can create a quiz. Before it used to be you have to connect something and it was a pain. Now it's a lot easier because you can get an assessment right away. So if I click on blank quiz here, I create my assessment, it creates an answer key for you. It tells you the correct and wrong answers for the students. Real quick and easy to create an exit ticket or an assessment for students, common assessment, whichever way you want to do it, but it's a nice and easy way to create some quick assessments. So that's Google Quiz using Google Forms. The third one here is a little bit more fun. This one is Gimkit. I haven't really shared this much. I've shared with a couple people, but Gimkit's like a new assessment tool, web tool like Kahoot or Quizzes or the other ones that are out there, Mentimeter I've shared. But Gimkit's a little bit different. So when students use Gimkit, the teacher creates a quiz. I did one on drones for Voyage this summer. And you put all your questions in there, or you can connect questions from Quizlet if you use Quizlet. So it's more like considered like flashcardy, if that makes sense, if that's a word. But the way it works is you select the quiz you want. They do some fun features, classic or team mode, or now there's humans versus zombies for Halloween. But the students get the questions come directly to their devices. And the cool thing about this is it's not about who's got the most points, and it doesn't go question by student. The students do them as fast as they can, hopefully answering them correctly. And as they do it, they accrue money. And then there's actually different types of things they can purchase. There's power-ups and stuff that gets them multipliers and things like that. And then the winner is the class that gets to a certain amount of money, or a student gets to a certain amount of money. So it sort of does it different, and the students might see the same questions over and over again, depending on how many questions you have. So it's good for that reinforcement of like, I'm thinking like chemistry class where they need to like understand those different formulas or the different elements or anything like that, or even basic math skills for the elementary kids that are just trying to focus on that multiplication or even addition, subtraction. But it's just a fun, different way for the kids to do different assessments, and they seem to really love it. So definitely check that out. It's called Gimkit. Number 4 here. Now this one's more under Empowered Learners, so not focused on the teacher, focused on the student. Empowered Learner, I had to share Epic because it really does hopefully give students a love for books, but also lets you get some back-end data as a teacher to see how the students are reading. So what is Epic? So Epic, you create a class as a teacher, you get your students on, and it gives the students access to over 30,000 books. Now, this is probably K-8 or possibly maybe some special ed at the high school level, but students can read books. If they're a struggling reader, they can actually have them read to them if they want. If they're a strong reader, there's actually chapter books in here, but it gives them a digital books to read on the Chromebook or the iPad. So it's on any device. The one thing I will say is you can't send this for homework because the way they make their money is they want parents to purchase like $5 or $6 a month to get access to it. So at 5 o'clock, the school version doesn't work, so it's during the day, but it's free for during the day. But it gives kids access to all those books, and pretty amazing. So that's epic. Check it out. Pretty neat. Oh, forgot. This is an example of the book that's read to them. So it actually highlights the word as it goes through, and it reads the book, so the kids can start to reinforce those reading skills. Number 5 here, under Analyst, back to Analyst here, is Padlet. So Padlet is a resource teachers can use, a little bit different than your ABCD questions or true and false. This is more collecting information from students. So having them take a picture of something they did in class or a project that you put up on the wall so you can see what they did, or having them share a video or a link or some research they found and share it with the class as a group, and all students can see it. So it's a great way to collect those GUI type things instead of your traditional ABCD, if that makes sense. So right here I have a walls that I've created, and then students can, so I've shared this, a sharing wall for 60 and 60 where people can share their favorite web tools, and it shares it with the whole entire group. So that's Padlet. Last but not least here, we're always trying to focus on the Smartboard, on our 6th one here. Didn't want you to forget about, when thinking of assessment, if you're using the Smartboard and you have your lesson there already, why not go ahead and create a notebook file and use the little check mark there and create the assessments within Smart, because it's just a seamless part of your presentation. Really quick and easy to use. Again, more multiple choice than like the forums and quizzes would be. Multiple choice, poll options, but the cool thing is as you're presenting, the students just get on their devices, they go to hellosmart.com, boom, they're into the assessment, they take it, good exit ticket at the end, or an assessment at the end, but it's all embedded in the Smart Notebook. So when you think, if you're thinking about assessment, think about utilizing Smart Notebook if you're already using it, right? All right, so that was all the different 6 times 10 for this month, really for next month, right? Because we should focus on assessment in November. You should be focused on assessment all the time, but you get the idea for the 6 times 10. Just want to remind you about the Innovation website. Don't forget to check it out, all the different resources. We keep on adding content to it. Also want to remind you about the lending library within our Innovation website. We are lending out iPads and Spheros and Ozobots and other things out through the lending library. Stuff sitting there waiting, ready for you to borrow it. So even if it's a couple months down the road, give us a holler, email us, give us a call, and we'll get it scheduled for you so we can bring it out to use that lending library for the different resources we have in there as well. So that's the lending library. We're continuing on with the instructional support. So look to see when we're going to be visiting. We are also going to try to work out a time to meet at the high school as well. But there's our schedule for November, and we're also going to be doing this the whole entire school year and pushing into you to support you. So please reach out to us, meet with us. We're here to support and help you any way we can to help you in any way. So that's instructional support. And that was 6 times 10 for October, looking at November under assessment. Thank you so much for your time, and we will see you soon.